Hey, what's going on guys, my name's Rav, and the Generation 9 Pokémon Scarlet and Violet anime is slowly approaching. We've received some small information about the new series, and this has viewers intrigued as to what it will entail. Last week, Roy's character insight revealed that he is a trainer from Kanto and that he possesses a mysterious Pokeball. Today I want to theorise as to what this Pokeball may relate to. There's a bunch of information to cover, so let's jump straight into it. Don't forget to leave this video a like to show your support. I'll be sure to bring out my next video shortly. Make sure to subscribe if you aren't ready to keep up to date, and without further ado, let's begin. Before we dive into the theories, let's take a quick glance at what we know so far. The Scarlet and Violet anime series will be commencing on the 14th of April, and it's said to be focusing on the entire Pokémon world and Paldea region. This implies that it could be in an alternative universe. The two protagonists are Liko, a girl from Paldea, who appears to have a Terra Orb pendant, and Roy is a boy from Kanto, who has the mysterious Pokeball. A shiny Rayquaza has also been made known. It hasn't been fully disclosed as to what objectives these two protagonists have, and what the purpose of shiny Rayquaza is. However, seeing as Roy's new Pokeball has been revealed, there's quite a lot of discussion now focusing on this item. Analysing the Pokeball, it's coloured gold and brown with the centre core appearing to have two hands with a blue and red gem, possibly resembling a clock. Automatically, many viewers are starting to believe that this Pokeball will relate to the future or potential time travel concept that is focused in the Pokémon Scarlet and Violet games. My friend Neil also made a good point about how Liko's pendant could be from the future, and how Roy's mysterious Pokeball appears to be ancient, maybe relating to the past. With that being said, let's take a look at the possibilities that could relate to this Pokeball. Before I begin, the details I'll be discussing are in no particular order. This is just pure speculation. First up, we have the Dual Starter theory. Initially, when I saw the design of this Pokeball, I automatically thought that it could be an item that's from the future. Maybe this will be the first Pokeball that could house two Pokemon, or better yet, in Roy's case, two starter Pokemon. And I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks this. Seeing as Liko is going to get Sprigatito, maybe Roy will be the trainer to get Fuecoco and Quaxly, and maybe house them both in the mysterious Pokeball. We've seen Pokeballs do some crazy things before, and with the new anime focusing on this supposed Pokeball in Roy's possession, I wouldn't be surprised if this was a possibility, especially seeing as the summary of the anime did state that these three Paldea starters will accompany the two protagonists. Next up, we have this Pokeball being specifically designed to capture Rayquaza. With the legendary Pokemon having a focus in the new anime series, many including myself believe that due to its shiny form, and also potential Terra capabilities, this Pokeball could be used towards the end of the series to catch the Pokemon. The coloration of the Pokeball may not exactly match the Pokemon's colour, but still, it could be a new high-tech Pokeball created to maybe catch the Pokemon. Or maybe it could actually be a Pokeball that houses Rayquaza, and that moves on to the next point, being that Roy is Rayquaza's trainer. Now this would be very interesting. I think that maybe Roy accidentally caught Rayquaza, and after coming out of its Pokeball, Roy has been struggling to calm down the Pokemon or befriend it. Maybe it's something similar to what initially happened with Go Suicune. Maybe Rayquaza is actually okay, but due to something in relation to the plot, it's finding it quite hard to go back into the Pokeball. This then brings on to the next point, being that this Pokeball can maybe either work on Rayquaza or whatever Pokemon caught inside of it, allowing it to have the capability to change into a new form, or maybe its Terra type. The Pokeball does seem to show some aesthetic, allowing it to maybe imply that it could allow a Pokemon to go through either one of these temporary changes. But still, it's a tricky one, because even though the Pokeball hasn't been fully clarified if it's an invention from the past or the future, its capabilities may not be fully mastered, hence its mysteriousness and undisclosed focus. Sticking on the topic of Rayquaza though, maybe this Pokeball already houses the legendary Pokemon, and the reason why it's receiving focus is to actually have it released from the Pokeball. Maybe it was stored away for many years due to its power, and now it's needing to be released again to help in a certain situation. I don't think this will answer the reason as to why the mysterious Pokeball exists, but who knows, it's still an interesting topic to talk about. But if it did work with intention, then maybe this Pokeball will allow a Pokemon to possibly change temporarily into a Paradox Pokemon. Now we know the Pokemon anime tends to implement some unique and bizarre concepts, especially compared to the games themselves. So taking this into consideration, I truly wonder if Roy's mysterious Pokeball will deliver something like this. Paradox Pokemon played their focus in the Scarlet and Violet games, so maybe Roy knows something about them, and with this Pokeball, it would act like a Terra Orb in a way but for that Pokemon to change into its Paradox form. A potential stretch of an idea, but it's not like we haven't seen Pokeballs do something out of the ordinary before. Next up, we have a Pokemon from the future, potentially being from another generation. From the very first episode of the Pokemon anime, we got to see a Pokemon from another generation that was unknown at that time, this being Ho-Oh, and since then, we've seen Pokemon being revealed generations ahead on numerous occasions. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pokeball that Roy owns has a Pokemon from a future generation, possibly revealing a Pokemon maybe from the 10th generation. and he could use it in this series. Think of it like Mayor Munchlax for example. There's a fun opportunity in this option, so who knows if it'll come true. Sticking on topic of new Pokemon, what if Roy was a trainer that actually introduced a Pokemon that was related to the upcoming Scarlet and Violet DLC? Maybe this would be in fact a new Pokemon or Paradox Pokemon. Imagine if it was either one of the newly revealed Paradox, Suicune or Virizion. Again, this opens up a lot of opportunities for concept and story plot. Or better yet, what if this Pokeball is related to the third legendary Pokemon of the games? There's been a few clues to indicate that the third legendary exists in the games and that it will be coming within the DLC. Analysing the supposed image of this Pokemon, it seems to be a turtle dragon-like creature that sits on top of a globe. A few aesthetic details also imply that it could maybe hold relation to this mysterious Pokeball. Maybe Roy is trying to find the legendary Pokemon and catch it, or maybe he already has the Pokemon and is trying to release it so that it can be involved in certain plot. Who knows what secrets could unfold from this one. Now let's talk about names. What could this Pokeball be called? The first potential option is the Time Ball. Let's analyse the Pokeball again. It's coloured golden brown with the centre core appearing to have two hands with a blue and red gem, possibly resembling a clock. Automatically, many believe this Pokeball could relate to the future or potential time travel concept that is focused in the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet games. However, I reckon that it could have a dual concept, maybe relating to the past, or better yet, the past and the future. Maybe the Pokeball will allow Liko and Roy to explore the realms of the past and the future, once again relating to the concept of the Scarlet and Violet games that could be used in the concept of the anime. Next up, we have the GS Ball 2.0. For those that don't know, the GS Ball was a rare Pokeball that Ash had in his possession during part of the original series, and in an official interview, it was said the original concept was to have Celebi in the Pokeball. Whilst we already made the point of how a mythical Pokemon could be in the Pokeball already, I wonder if there will be something similar to happen. Maybe a rare Pokemon will be inside, or maybe an item. What do you guys think? Moving on, we have the Magearna concept. Many believe that this Pokeball could relate to another man-made Pokemon, hence why they're starting to call it the Magearna concept. Magearna is a man-made Pokemon that when closed, resembles its shell and opening similar to a Pokeball. Due to this, we may see something similar for another Pokemon, maybe either from an ancient or futuristic concept. The Scarlet and Violet legendary duo are next, and this is where it starts to get interesting. Some viewers believe that this Pokeball will allow both Koraidon and Miraidon to be stored, acting similar to the dual starter option we spoke about earlier. I think this would be a pretty interesting concept to have in place. We've already seen both legendary Pokemon make their anime debuts, and maybe depending on the story, it could happen. We know that there are multiple species of these legendary Pokemon mentioned in the game's story, so maybe this Pokeball will allow unique ideas in relation to these legendaries to come to life. The next possibility is that maybe a special item is stored in the Pokeball. With Liko wearing a Terra Orb pendant and Roy having the Pokeball, maybe they both add up to make an actual Terra Orb when combined together. It could be that maybe Liko and Roy don't require these items to terrestrialize their Pokemon, and it could be that inside of the Pokeball, there was a much rarer item exclusive to the anime, unless if they do really need both parts to combine together of course. We then have Paradox Capture. Simply put, this Pokeball will allow Paradox Pokemon to be caught. Somewhat similar to the Beast Ball, maybe Roy developed this Pokeball to have it help in his quest to catch Paradox Pokemon. This one seems to be a popular possibility amongst viewers. And finally, we have the possible time machine concept. Maybe this Pokeball is needed as an item to place into a device or machine that will allow Liko and Roy to time travel. Time travel was something spoken of in the Scarlet and Violet games, and even though the player didn't exactly time travel themselves, maybe the anime will follow up its own twist to make this concept happen. It could be in relation to the Pokemon themselves, or maybe something far greater, possibly relating to Rayquaza itself. There are so many possibilities when it comes to this mysterious Pokeball, and taking all of these theories into account, it could relate to more than just one of them, but time will tell for what the true purpose of this mysterious Pokeball truly is. But want to let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you guys would like to interact with me, then be sure to follow me on Twitter and join the Team Pokécraft Discord server to discuss all things Pokemon. You can find the rest of my social networks on the screen and in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave it a like, as your support is greatly appreciated. Don't forget to share the video with your friends. Finally, make sure to subscribe to keep up to date with my videos, and click on the little bell to enable notifications, so you guys get notified when I upload a new video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and be sure to stick around for more Pokemon content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.